So guys, for this video I wanted to test a little bit of the MiG-25's performance against some of the American aircraft that we have in the game. It's not a full test, it's not something scientific, it's just to have kind of an idea of what the MiG-25 will be like, and I think we can draw some conclusions from this very quick test. So one of the tests that we did, guys, was to actually fly very high with both aircraft. We are against the F-15A over here, which is the aircraft that was made to counter the MiG-25, kinda. It's not just that, but you know the story, right? And I really wanted to test against the F-15A because it is, you know, the American interceptor, kinda, right? So it's not really like that because they had different aircraft, you know how it is, but it is an aircraft that it's compared a lot sometimes with the MiG-25, which is very funny actually even. But yeah, we try to mimic what it would be a high altitude head-on, you know, interception against the MiG-25 and an F-15A. The idea here was to not use chaff and just see the missiles. The objective was to see the performance of the aircraft together with the missiles. It doesn't, you know, we don't care about, oh, somebody maneuvered or not. This is not a real scenario. It's just to kind of see what the R-40s are capable of, if they can be better than the M7. That's kind of the idea. Even, you know, if the maneuverability would help the F-15, etc. So don't take it too personally, okay? It's just a fun, having fun, high altitude, you know, BVR fights without too much, you know, to actually think about. So here you can already see that I started to detect this aircraft, which is the F-15, from a very long range. I could only fire on it because of a limitation of the radar at 60 kilometers, okay? So that was one of the problems that I saw. The F-15 always had a little bit of an advantage, a lot of an advantage of over the MiG on the regards of radar, right? Radar of the F-15 is much better than this radar, but you can still use it. And the main thing here is the speed. Look at the speed that I fired the missile, man. And because of that, my missile hit him way before his missile hit me. So we're just cranking, no chaff or anything, just to see what would be the missile that would actually hit first. And the R-40 is actually pretty good. The thing is the speed of this thing. It just carries this missile on a very good scenario for it. So yeah, just to check it out how it is, we're gonna just go to the sensor view over here. And you will see something very interesting happening, right? So the idea here is to just check it out, the missiles, guys. If this R-40 is better than the M7. Of course, the performance of the aircraft are completely different, so you have to take that variation there. But you will see the main difference here, okay? So we're trying to scan, and this radar can detect targets very well. The F-15, like I said, it was detecting at around 90 kilometers, which is amazing for this radar. It's just, yeah, it's a very old radar, so it makes sense. And of course, you have an RWR that is very old as well. It's just to have an idea, okay, guys? Don't take it too far. And then you will see something pretty interesting happening here. So the speed over here, ignore it a little bit because I was much faster than this. I was like a Mach 2.9 or something. It was really fast. And you can already see by the launch of the missile, it already starts at Mach 3. So that's the thing, right? And you will see that he fired way before I did. But you can already see, guys, that quickly, because of my speed, even though the R-40 has a very short burn time, you can already see that the R-40 is faster than the M7. Look at the speed, man. Mach 5.5 he got you. So this is the advantage that this missile has. It is not the most amazing missile ever. It's a very old missile, actually. But the speed of this thing is so high up that you can make this thing be like really, really strong. Of course, guys, I gotta think that you normally wouldn't be in these altitudes, but the thing is, these aircraft just fly so easily into these altitudes that it's kind of funny. And we did do a test that I'm gonna show very quickly, you know, in a normal scenario, like the taking off with both aircraft and stuff and going straight to the enemy, right? This would be a scenario where I side climbed, basically, with the MiG-25, right? And you can see that although the engine is not burning anymore, I don't think, look at the speed, man. It is maintaining a pretty amazing speed. Almost Mach 5. And you can see that the M7 is already much, much slower. So this is why the R-40 kind of wins, just because of the speed of the aircraft. So it's like the Mikas on the Rafale. The Rafale is such a good aircraft, and so, I mean, it couldn't even be able to actually track these distances while, like, follow me at these distances, not track, he's tracking, right? But while the R-40 actually hit the target. And because of the energy, this is a much larger missile that turns worse than a Sparrow. But the thing is, it's so much energy, Mach 5.5, it's just insane, right? So this is where I really want to draw the attention to, guys. The MiG-25 is amazing, but at one thing: flying high and fast and firing these missiles from a very long distance. This is, you know, where it shines. Because I'm gonna show something now that will make it very visible how bad it is in any other situation. So this was a normal scenario, okay? We just took off, looked straight to the enemy, and we're trying the same. Trying to look for each other and kill each other from the BVR without chaff or anything, just to see if the missile would hit the target while you were cranking. That's a basic target test that you can do with a missile to see if it actually is pretty good. And I gotta say, look at this. Again, guys, we are intercepting the target at around 90 kilometers, 85 to 90 kilometers, something like that. And we cannot get a lock at these distances because of the limitation of the radar. The radar can only get a lock at around 60, okay? So this is always going to be a hard limit. And I always talked about this, right? How the R-40 can actually go even further than that. But the radar, the Sapphire 25, really has a limitation on real life as well, that he only could lock targets at 60 kilometers, okay? So yeah, 60 kilometer, I can get a lock, and I fire the missile because the missile does have the range here. This missile has incredible range, okay? And we were talking a little bit about what should we do here, and we decided to crank each to one side, okay? And we're gonna start to do that very shortly. But you will see, look at that. He's way, I mean, I didn't know like why we took so much time to actually start to crank, but you will get the point. But you will see, guys, that he is much higher than me. Why is that? Because the MiG-25 takes a long time to get from Mach 0, let's say, to Mach like 1.8. After that, it really starts to pick up the pace. But in low altitudes and general, you know, just low altitudes, low speeds, the aircraft is really bad. And what happens? I get killed, okay? So in a general perspective, guys, this is what the aircraft really is capable of. It is to fly high and fast. If you don't fly high and fast with this thing, it is dead. That's pretty much what it is. Of course, you will not fight an F-15 in the game, probably, right? As long as the BR is the 10.7 that they're adding it. But you will fight what? Well, you will fight something like an F-4E. So this is where we tried to fight against an F-4E. And this is what I'm concerned about this aircraft. I will show some clips all against F-4Es now. And you will see something very interesting happening. This aircraft is not a jack of all trades, guys, as expected, right? It is an aircraft that is perfect for one thing: to try to intercept targets very high, very fast with BVR missiles. That's it. Yes, you do have your 60Ms, but let's be honest, you're not going to be able to use them very much, right? So at the end of the day, guys, against an F-4E, against aircraft that are in its BR, nobody will have a chance against the MiG-25 while doing BVR. If you see a MiG-25 and you are flying against it, don't do BVR with it. That's the only reason, like the only rule that you will have. You will have to check it out. I mean, look at that. I just destroyed myself of being too fast at low altitudes, right? So it means that we are way too fast for this situation. We need to fly higher to go faster, right? And even in dogfights, you will see that, of course, these aircraft will struggle. Eventually here, I killed the guy, but just because he let me, basically, I kind of tried to show that if you energy trap somebody, maybe you can kill them, but just don't mind this dogfight. It's not a real dogfight, okay? But in a general sense, guys, you will see that this aircraft is awful at doing anything else other than intercepting targets at, you know, BVR ranges. Very high, very far, okay? So it's amazing at that, and at this BR, which I think it should be a little bit higher. At this BR, it will be amazing at that. Nobody will be able to touch it. But at everything else, it will lose it. it will lose it by a lot. It will lose it in the dogfights. It will lose it in the IR missiles. It will lose it in any type of low flying, because you are not fast at low altitudes. You just cannot get, like, anything is faster than you in the low altitude. So you need to climb. It's kind of like flying a Yak 28 a little bit, if you ever flew that. If you are kind of obliged to climb, because if not, it is so much power that the aircraft just rip itself apart, right? So it's kind of funny, it's kind of different, and that's why I love it that it's probably going to be an event vehicle. Everybody was asking, are you testing the vehicle? Guys, I have a partnership with Gaijin, and they gave me the vehicle, right? But it's not a vehicle on a tech tree, so they didn't, for some reason, add it to the dev server for everybody, okay? So that's why I was able to test it, because I'm a content creator, and I have the ability to do that because they help me with giving me vehicles to test it out, right? But in a general sense, guys, it is going to be an event vehicle, okay? So that's why it's an event vehicle, because it's like if the, I don't know, the F-16, the F-18, they are jack of all trades, right? They are aircraft that basically can do everything. They are a jackknife, basically, right? The MiG-25 is a sniper, right? If you go in a CQB situation with a sniper, you're probably gonna get, killed. So the MiG-25 is kind of that. You need to be far away from your target, very far, very fast, away, almost hitting the stars, right? And then you can try to kill anybody that flies high. Anybody that tries to fly high will get stomped by the R-40s. But everybody else that flies low, you will not be able to kill them. So it's kind of a very different aircraft to fly. Okay, guys? As you can see, the one thing that it has that it's actually pretty good in a dogfight is energy retention. And, I mean, the F-4 is just, it doesn't have any, right? Kind of. So, compared to the MiG. So it's kind of funny that eventually you might win it, but it's just impossible. The only reason that I killed him here, and I am going to kill him, because I'm trying to show that maybe if you use an energy trap or something, you can get a kill. But in a dogfight scenario, guys, you will always die. Don't try to get in dogfights. This is just obvious. It does turn better than you think. It's not like an F-104, but it's just not good enough. It's not gonna turn as well as anything, right? So, yeah, it has its place, but it's a very specific tiny window that you have to be really, really precise. If not, you're not gonna kill anything. It's kind of funny. Very, very funny. So this is kind of the idea, guys, with the MiG-25 here. I really wanted to put into perspective what it's capable of. It's not bad by any means, but it's so good at one thing that it's really bad at everything else, right? So you have to take it like that. It's an aircraft that, although you gotta think, oh, but it's not for me. I like to dogfight. I like to fly low. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, guys. This aircraft is not for everybody. Definitely. It's for the type of, the 1% of players that really like to do BVR more than dogfights, which is me, for example, right? I love to do BVR. I love to be able to do maneuvers that I can beat a target using my missiles at 60 kilometers. I think it's kind of a chess match, right? While dogfights is a knife fight, right? So each to their own, but just be aware, if you're gonna get this aircraft, this is the type of gameplay you're gonna have, okay? So I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, ignore this dogfight completely, and yeah, see you guys. Bye.